Trapped in a career I hate. Is it too late to start over? How about that? Well, that is our letterhead for today's episode. So, howdy, Fi guys. Howdy. I'm writing because I am starting to feel really stuck and could use some advice. Very nice. I graduated 2 years ago and landed a job at a large company in a rotational program, working across different finance areas. At first, I thought this would be a great opportunity to figure out what I like and gain experience, but now it's just left me feeling completely lost and helpless. With each rotation, I realize more and more that I just don't care about finance at all. I have zero passion for the work. And the more and more I push through it, the more it feels like I'm suffocating. Honestly, I've started to really dread going to work every day.
It sucks. I have been there.
Looking back, I realize this isn't new. Even in college, I wasn't excited about my coursework. It always felt like a chore. But I convinced myself, with the pressure from family and friends, how it goes, that this was the smart path. Stability, a good salary, a respectable career. That's what everyone said mattered most. Now I'm starting to question it all. Took our advice in advance. Starting to question it all. Love it. What's the point of stability or a high-paying job if I feel miserable doing it? I can't imagine spending decades like this. I know I've barely started my career, but the thought of continuing down this path feels unbearable. The problem is, I don't even know what I'd switch to. I have no idea what I'm passionate about or what kind of work would even make me happy. And if I did figure that out, I worry that I'd have to start all over again. Maybe even go back to school. I don't know if I can do that again. Have either of you ever felt this way? Like you choose a path that looked good on paper, but just wasn't right for you. Did things get better, or did you make the big switch at some point? We got some stuff to talk about with that one.
We can talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll continue. I got like 2 paragraphs left. So I can't shake the feeling that something is wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. Other people in my program seem so excited about the opportunities and I just feel indifferent. Like I'm going through the motions.
Maybe they're just not your people.
100%. Took the words out of my mouth. I've rotated through several areas and none of them have sparked even the slightest interest. And I feel completely out of place. I guess I'm hoping that you might have some perspective or advice. Is there a way to figure out what I should be doing, or is this just part of the career? Should I stick it out? Thanks for listening. From I'm chasing the pay, but my joy is gone astray. How about that?
Okay, so what I want to do is before we start off, I'm going to answer this as if I was just some normal finance bro and not the Fi Guys finance bro.
Gotcha.
Dude, shut up. You're making money. You're in finance. This is what it's all about. Who cares if you're suffering? Make money. That's all that matters. Now let's answer it the way that we're supposed to answer it, because what traditionally is found on the internet of how to do things, it's they take the human out of the equation. And they think that, the only thing that matters is money. Here at the Fi Guys, we don't believe that. Money is not the goal. Money is the facilitator to the goal that you want. And the goal is a fulfilling life. Time with your family, time with your kids, time with whatever. I don't know what your goal is. Your goal is your own goal. It's your meaning. It's your purpose. Money is not that. Money just helps you get there. Money helps you walk up the hill. What's your thoughts on this one, Dominic?
I think he's a square peg in a round hole, right? The round hole being the finance career and square peg being him. He's not enjoying it, right? You can't force a square peg through a round hole. Of course, you could force it through, but it would break the square, right? And life is not about forcing you through, breaking you down, molding you, right? It's about life is to be enjoyed. And when you're doing a job that you don't love in your heart, you're not going to do a good job. I know people who love what they do. It was their purpose. And you can see it in their work versus someone who this is a job for them. You can see it, right? I think the only way to know what you like is to try new things. And I love that he's questioning things. I think it's so important to start questioning things, questioning everything, right? This kind of breaks my heart a little bit too, because his friends, his family, everybody's telling him, this is great. It's a great job. Like, too much influence, too much influence. And I hope that he's starting to build the muscle of self-confidence in his own self, his own decision making, because it's not other people living his life. He's living his life. He has to suffer with the decisions that he makes because of the influence around him. What are your thoughts on the situation, Chris?
So just to make sure, are you leaning towards finding a different career, like changing everything, or what are you leaning towards?
100% change everything. Change
Okay.
it all, right? I think sometimes you need to change the direction a little bit, and sometimes you need a whole nother destination. Um, I think he should, on his off time, figure out what he likes. I wouldn't just show up to freshman year again. Like, I quit tomorrow. I'm going to school, and we're just going to wing it again. It's like, no. We need more research this time, right? So I think definitely finding what your hobbies are, finding what you enjoy, and it's more about learning who he is as a person. What's his strengths? You know, if he loves public speaking, maybe a role where he speaks a lot to the people is great. Maybe he's an introvert. Maybe he doesn't work well with people. Maybe then he can work something in the back rooms, right? So I think it all starts with knowing yourself, right? And I don't know if he knows himself enough, but he's starting to know himself. He knows what he doesn't like, and that's important. But now it's time to start knowing more about what you do like. And that's a beautiful journey, and it's exciting, and it's a little bit scary, right? But fear, like we talked about in the last two podcasts, fear is your friend. Use it when you can, use it when you need it. So I think definitely when your body and your mind is telling you that you need a change, you have to pay attention to it. You have to focus on it. And I think the more and more you push it away, push it down, the more suffering is going to take place. Like, if it's like,
Okay.
it's like if you didn't get burned by the fire once, it's like, ooh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. You keep putting your hand back in the fire more and more and more until your hand is just in the fire. You're just going to burn all your skin off, right? Until you learn, right? Or you don't learn and you just catch on fire and die. So that's not really what we want to happen here. So
Let's not do that.
let's not do that.
So I'm going to take the opposite side of the coin, just because I don't disagree with you, Dominic.
Yep.
And I believe that being dogmatic on anything is not the right answer, because at the end of the day, this is this young man's life, or young lady. I don't know if it's a man or a girl. Actually, I don't know if it's a dude or a guy. But this is this person's life, and I think they're already being influenced enough as to like, do this, don't do that. You need to know yourself. At the end of the day, yeah, maybe they can leave their work because they don't like it and go find another work, but we still have to remember that we're working within the physics of reality. In reality, in an economic system like we have, late stage capitalism, you still need to have money to go to work. Maybe you have student loans. Maybe you have an apartment that you're paying for. Maybe all of these things are true. I don't know enough from what I'm reading. So when it comes to, should I just dip out and start over again? I don't know. Where are you financially? What is going on there? Maybe you have to stick it out because you're stuck in it. And I've been there, dude. One part of the thing you asked, like, have either of you ever felt this way? Like, was it tough to choose another path? Did it get better when you switch? I remember working a job that I would wake up in the morning at 4 a.m. to go work out. And then I would come home, try to do all the stuff that I needed to, so I could be to work by like 6:30. And like, before I would leave, I would be sitting in my closet negotiating with myself to put my pants on, negotiating with myself that like I wasn't feeling sick, negotiating with myself like, you have to go in today. I know what it's like to sit there in the darkness and be like, I hate this so much. I can't stand it. And that was the push that took me to the next place, was hating it so much that, and eventually knowing that the fear of changing couldn't be worse than the fear of staying. I don't know where you are in that cycle. I mean, is it like, man, it's not super happy. I'm not super fun. Then maybe just tough it out, because I know that you're not finding what you love, but it's kind of like finding your one person. If you're someone who believes like, oh, there's only one person in the universe out there for you. Well, statistically, they're probably in China then. Like, statistically, it's not the guy that you met at the store or the person you met on Bumble. Statistically, there's somebody else. So what do? We settle. We try to find somebody that like works enough. And that's sometimes what our job is. We have to remember that we have multiple selves. Sometimes your job isn't going to be the thing that is rewarding and gives you this perfect work-life balance and all this stuff. And if you're at the point of like, I can't do this, then yeah, you need to make a change. If it's like, I'm going to kill myself or I'm going to stay in the job, then yeah, leave the job like in a heartbeat. Like we don't want to end it for all of that. So I don't know where we're at, but you're learning something very valuable about yourself. And as a young person, you're learning what you don't like. And sometimes you have to go through a lot of things that we don't like to finally find the thing that we do like. And the only way that we find the thing that we do like, to Dominic's point, is to try new things. And maybe if you're in the place where I'm kind of assuming you are, if you're writing in, if you're listening to the podcast, I don't have the ability just to quit my job and go and do all these things, then don't. Search outside of your work, search within your work, talk to people, like talk to the janitorial staff that works inside the building. I don't know, talk to anybody. Is there like a gardener? Is there anything like that you could talk to? Be like, what are the things that I like? You're young and you're in a situation right now and you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to be stuck in this path forever. And my guess is because you're asking people that are assholes that are only thinking about what they want in their life. Oh, if I had a job that was a finance job, I had your job, I would be happy. They don't know that. Everyone always thinks the grass is greener on the other side. But the issue is, it's because somebody else is over there watering it. And when you get over there and you kick that person out and you don't water the grass and it becomes crappy, just like the other side where you was. And then you say, oh, it must be over there. It must be over there. Too many people go through life and then they project onto other people saying, oh, this is what you should do because this is what I would do. When I can guarantee you, if they were inside your situation, they'd probably be complaining the exact same amount. Because that's what we do as human beings. We just want more and more and more. And we never realize how lucky we are, what we actually have. Maybe you're in this job, though, and you can break those two senses of self. There's your work self and your at-home self. I don't believe that work has to necessarily define you. It's nice if it does. And if it does, that's awesome. So the final question you end with us is there a way to figure out what I should, quote unquote, be doing? Or is this just part of starting a career and I need to stick it out? Yeah. Part of a career is it sucks. I never met someone who starts a job and is like, I love every aspect of it.
Yeah.
But you go through parts of it that you like and parts of it that you don't like. And the goal is to figure out what parts I like and bring more of those. But there's always going to be things you don't like. But don't follow what traditional people are telling you, because most people are going to tell you, go through life hating 80% of it so that 20% of it you can do what you want to do. Those are the people that only chase money. Those are the people that you're talking to and they're telling you, stiff upper lip, be stronger, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Why not flip the equation? Why not have it be 20% of the time you're doing stuff you don't like to do? So the other 80, you can do things that you love, that light you up. So I want to talk about this concept of Ikigai. Okay. It's something that I went through to figure out, like, what is it that I want for my life? Because at first I thought I wanted to be a marriage and family therapist. Then I thought I wanted to be a Marine. Then I thought I wanted to be a CHP officer. Then I thought I wanted to be an operations manager. Then I wanted to be a sales manager. Then a financial advisor. Now a freaking financial coach. Like, you don't know the tangent that's going to get you to where you are. But this idea of Ikigai is a Japanese concept. And the meaning of it, or the rough translation, is your reason for being. Your Ikigai is the reason for your being. So there's 4 quadrants, 4 circles, and kind of like what are those, Venn diagrams? Are those the ones I'm thinking of, where there's 2 circles? Yeah. So it's a Venn diagram, but with 4 circles. So there's 4 questions I want you to ask yourself. What do I love to do? What am I good at? What can I get paid for? And what does the world need? Too many of us, we don't look at all 4 of these questions. We're just trying to answer one of the questions. And if you're just sticking there in that binary state, you're never going to be happy. Some people will even take it a step farther and be like, well, if I find something that I love and something that I'm good at, then I can find my passion. But sometimes your passion doesn't pay for anything. Or maybe sometimes people would be like, okay, I found what I'm good at and I found what I can get paid for. Well, that might be a profession. And then, if you find someone who's like, oh, okay, this pays for things and it's what the world needs. Well, that's kind of like a vocation, something that you might want to give time to. It's like a charity, something that is really important. And then just to take it one more step, you might find something that the world needs, something that you love, and that's your mission. Now, each one of these things doesn't create a life. It's not Ikigai. Ikigai is where all of those 4 circles find the middle. What I love, what I'm good at, what I'm passionate about, what I like to do, what the world needs, and what I can get paid for. That might be your mission. And what are those 4 quadrants for you? I have no freaking idea. You have to find that for yourself. And the most messed up part is it changes as life changes.
Yeah. And I think that's
So
one of the
you
things that we don't talk about. Sorry to interrupt, but that's one of the things that we don't talk about is you commit yourself to a path and people count on you. People look forward to you, right? And then you change as a person and the path no longer invigorates you like it once was. And it sucks sometimes to pivot. But
yeah, it does. It's so hard because there's so many people now. It's like, oh, just follow your passions. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, that sounds great, but passions don't pay the bills, bro.
yeah.
Or like, what's your life's mission? It's like, yeah, my life's mission sounds good, but that's not paying the bills, bro. And like, it just makes it really hard. And sometimes in life, it's okay for things to be hard, but we have to remember that we still need to operate in the realm of reality. We still need to make money. All of these things do need to happen. So Ikigai has been the thing that has kind of helped me out. But unfortunately, we work in a system. Like our system has failed us. The system of capitalism of, okay, we're going to send you to school for 12 years to learn how to be a good worker. Then after that, we're going to ask you, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? When you're 17 or 18 years old, then we're going to put you in $100,000 to $300,000 in student debt. And now you're committed to this path because you can't get out of it. It should be criminal to ask a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old who has zero experience outside of life, because for the first 18 years of your life, everything has been ordered for you. You're told where to go. You're told what class to go up to. You're told exactly everything. And now the reins come off at 18 just because you magically hit a number. And we're like, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Of course you have no freaking idea. You've never explored anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of it sucks. I would be the first person to say all of it sucks. And you're the one who has to deal with it.
And you're the only one who can deal with it.
Mm-hmm. It's
Only
kind of
you
like
can
the
change
concept
it.
of, yeah. It's the concept of, if you walk outside into the street, or if you're walking on the sidewalk and you get hit by a drunk driver, whose fault is it? Yeah, it's their fault. They're the one that hit you. And it's your fault.
Yeah.
Not it's your fault in that you're the one at fault for the accident, but you're the one who has to bear the consequences. You're the one who has to take yourself to physical therapy. You're the one who has to do that. No matter how much you hate that person that hit you, no matter how much you complain and bitch about it, they're not going to go through physical therapy for you. They're not going to work out for you. They're not going to have to deal with the trauma that you have to go through. You're the one who has to go through it. All of these things can be true simultaneously. Life can suck, and you're the one that has to put yourself out of it. And you're going through it right now. But look at how lucky you are in that you now know, I don't know how many rotations you've gone through, but hey, that's 12 things or 10 things or 5 things that you know you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And you're getting valuable skills. You're learning. You have a degree in finance, maybe. That's like a degree in psychology or communication. Yes, alone it's not great. But if you combine it with something else, with your passions, with what the world needs, with what you're good at and what you get paid for, you can take that and go anywhere. Yeah. It's not like you have like this advanced biology degree that only works in this one field, you know, like, oh, I just work with hummingbirds and only hummingbirds. Like I only have knowledge in this one bird, you know, and now the bird's gone. I can't transfer that knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge of finance, of psychology, of most degrees can be transferred if you're willing to find a way to make it. So you got it. I believe in you. You made it through college. You're not that far along. Situation sucks. You'll be okay. And you right now, you know what I would do? This is what I've been doing recently. If you're in that moment of like, this sucks, and you're just stuck in that spiral, grab your phone, set a timer, put it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. I say 5 minutes. And say, for the next 5 minutes, I can cry, I can scream, I can punch a wall, I can scream into my pillow, I can just thrash around on the floor like a child and be angry with the way that the situation is. After 5 minutes, though, I need to get up and I need to do something about it. And if you need to have one of those moments every day, twice a day, 3 times a day, you do that. But don't just sit here ruminating on it and never doing something about it. You need to take action. Feel your feelings and then take action.
I think that's an interesting quote. Feel your feelings and take action. I like that. Well, I hope that helps you. And best of luck on your journey. And we hope to hear back from you down the line.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the host and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.